There's a lot more to the Order of the Arrow than you might think. Let's talk about it. Hey, ScouterStan, let's talk a little bit about the Order of the Arrow. There's a lot to the Order of the Arrow. There's a lot of things that go on there. Troops that have older scouts that have gone through their ordeal and eventually going through Brotherhood, they get a lot of great opportunities to do something very special, and that is to learn some really incredible leadership skills. One of the big things that youth have an opportunity to participate in is the National Leadership Seminars. These are held all over the place. We're going to go into more of that. But there is another one for the adults. Now, the adults can take the youth one and this other one called Developing Youth Leadership Conference. That one kind of puts it all together for a lot of the advisors in the Order of the Arrow. So the adult advisors go to that one. They go to both. But the youth really get a lot out of the NLS program. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, today's subject was actually requested by Corey. Corey wanted to know what these things were. These come up in schedules all over. So let's dive right into it. The National Leadership Seminars is a weekend convention. That conference actually really focuses in on some of the really important skills that are needed to be a good leader. The program is actually intended to increase those skills that are needed in scouting and in their communities. And this is true for adults and for youth. Now, National Leadership Seminars, those are intended for the youth 14 and over. And it's really intended for anyone who wants to increase their skills in leadership. Now, the course topics will increase the ability for the learner to really get into some of the things that make them tick and really dive into that. And as I mentioned, 14 and older is what they recommend, unless there is a scout that has a lodge position. Then this leadership skills and that development should be done as soon as possible. Now, the National Leadership Seminars are actually done regionally back in the day. Now there's sections. These are done in different areas. So you have to really pre-register for your area. And it varies, the schedule varies throughout the United States. Attendees need to pre-register. They do it online, and that will give them the data of when the next one is coming up. And you have to do that before. There's no walk-ins, okay? It's a scouting thing. We want you to program into your schedule and dedicate time to really do this kind of a seminar. Hey, before we go any further, I want to make sure that you are invited to come to the live meeting. The live meeting is on the first Sunday of each month at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So please join us. Now, you're going to have to adjust for whatever time zone you're in, but please join us and join in. That's a great way to ask questions, and I'm there to answer them. Also, I want to personally thank all of the patrons on Patreon for their continued financial support. Also, if you would like to become a channel member right here on YouTube, hit the join button and go through that process. It's a great way to help fund what you see here. If you don't want to do a monthly donation, that's fine. We have a thank you button. Just hit the thank you button and make a one-time donation. That is always appreciated. And let's get right back to it. Developing Youth Leadership Conference. This is something that comes up for the adults, the advisors of the Order of the Arrow. This conference will actually help build resiliency in the leadership of your unit. So that is one of those great things. It will help advisors and adults to really use what youth are learning in the national leadership seminars. Participants in that will actually gain a great insight to that leadership and being able to mold that leadership and to make it more of a servant leadership type of situation. It is incredible the skills that can be developed. Now, this is actually developed for advisors to the lodge or chapter. So this is something that helps them understand what happens at the national leadership seminars so that they can kind of understand all that's gone on there. It's recommended that those adults take that course. That's not required. Now, these conferences are done in different areas throughout the United States. You have to make sure that you sign up online. The link for all of this is down below. Hit the More button and it's the description, and it will have links in there, and it will have their website and have a way to sign up for their mailing list. That's how you get the invitation for your area. That's how you get all of the dates for all of the different ones throughout the United States. And it varies depending on what section you're in. So that's the old region thing, the sections and region. That's all part of it. And once you've signed up, that is critical to knowing when these things are going to occur. Otherwise, they don't publish a list of all the different locations that are hosting such a conference. It is so important to understand that. You can't just show up. They got to know you're coming. So, and that requires a lot of planning stuff. Now, both of these are weekend events so that the majority of people can attend these that are with the Order of the Arrow. And the older scouts and, of course, the adults and advisors, they are the ones that can be involved in these things. And it is amazing, all of the leadership skills that come out of these two programs that are out there. So, Corey, I hope I've answered your question. But it's amazing. The path to leadership is learned. You can learn how to be a good leader. It is something that can be taught, and an individual can learn and absorb those skills and use those skills to be a fantastic leader. That's the wonderful thing about scouting. With all of the core values that we have, plus all of these leadership skills, we're building great leaders for tomorrow. And you're a big part of that. And I am so grateful that you have chosen to watch this video and learned more about leadership training in the Order of the Arrow. It is a wonderful thing. Keep up that good, hard work, and I will see you on the trail.